But the palm tree wants to participate.
They just want to be together.
He wants to.
The palm tree and the
aloe plant.
aloe.
Yeah.
They just want to be
Look
together.
it does. It looks like he's saying hi.
Yeah. They're friends.
We probably look a little bit crazy at the moment, being filmed talking about such things.
We have an aloe vera plant and a palm tree right outside of our window. Or we have an aloe vera plant just inside the window and a palm tree outside, and they're friends.
They are.
Welcome back to Odds of War. Today we have an awesome battle report of the Sisters of Battle, the Adepta Sororitas, versus the Harlequins. The Battle Sisters of the Thawed Rose have been tasked with gathering intelligence on the movements of the foul Xenos known as Harlequins. Knowing how deadly their dance can be, the sisters have brought with them 3 souls for repentance. Will the Arco-Flagellants be enough to keep the Harlequins off of the sisters? Will they be able to return with the information they desperately seek? Find out today on Odds of War.
And just like Quarantine Kill Team is providing extra female representation, I thought that'd be cool. I was like, hey Matt, can we do the females on the females? Hot girl on girl action.
Listen, we're going to talk about the lists now, so if that's not your thing, you can skip straight to the battle report using the timestamps in the description below. And for those of you on mobile, I'll pin a comment in the comments with the timestamps so you can skip to use those. But if you're still here, that means you want to hear about these lists.
Yeah.
Carly, you want to go first?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Colorful. Very, yeah.
Yeah.
They're almost like, little Eastery, Mardi Gras.
They're Mardi Gras. Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah, they're Mardi Gras. They're Kill Team Fat Tuesday is what I call them. My head canon for why they're that. Maybe someone would think that they're themed after Mardi Gras, but actually the Eldari are an ancient race before the humans even. Mm-hmm. And so obviously the Webway Gate that they originally had to defend was close to or on Holy Terra. And so ancient Terrans, of course, worshipped them and gave them sacrifices to not kill everybody. Mm-hmm. And then they would wear the colors of Kill Team Fat Tuesday to appease them. So Mardi Gras actually came from them.
Right.
Not
so do
the other
these
way
other
around.
Planets have the same 7-day weekly cycle to like have a Tuesday?
Not necessarily.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like they would have potentially like 12-hour days with 3 days a week.
It's symbolic.
212 days a year.
Sure. Point is, the Mardi Gras tradition came from them, not the other way around. That's the point.
Okay. So I have my leader right here. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have my 3 specialists and then my 2 little ruffians. Okay. they're all ruffians. Yes.
Yeah.
So this fella here,
the leader,
mm-hmm. Has. So their melee weapons are very easy to remember. Okay, we've got Embrace, Kiss, and Caress.
Ooh.
Okay, now the shooters are a little bit more difficult.
Shooters?
The shooters. Which actually, that's sort of accurate, at least for these guys, because they just have those little 6-inch range guns. Pew, 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 pew. And then this guy has things, but he has a Neuro blasting.
Yeah, you were close. It's a Neuro disruptor.
Disruptor. He's disrupting the neurons.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and then this.
And what's his melee weapon?
He has Embrace.
Wow, look at you. I get caught up. For me, it's weird because when I've played the Harlequins, I can remember their guns, but for the life of me, can't remember.
Really?
Yes. So
oh my
we'll
God, when
split
you were
duties.
like, embrace, kiss, and caress, I was like, absolutely.
That's because I have a paper.
I haven't even looked at the paper.
I know, but I have
literally
a paper.
looked at the paper to see what the guns were, and I was
look,
like, I can't tell anything from that.
Between the two of us, we'll
there you
remember
go.
everything.
Okay, so my specialists here in the middle. So I have my Zealot here that's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why she's the Zealot, because she's going in,
she's
like Naruto style.
right.
Like,
Yes. And then this one is my combat specialist, and then I have my veteran here. Okay.
Yes.
So
And they're all armed with.
They're all armed with kisses. And what else do you need but a deadly kiss? But I guess also in the shooting phase, they should also maybe potentially use their shivfish.
That's actually really close. Shuriken.
Oh, right,
Shuriken
gherkin.
pistol.
I was trying to remember
Yeah.
it by gherkin.
So the Shuriken pistol, that's why I was saying it's like actually really close for you to say a shiv, because it actually shoots knives. That's what it shoots, is little like needle knives, like
A gherkin shiv.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call it, a gherkin shiv.
There you go. And then what about your non-specialists?
I have fusion pistols with these guys with their caress.
Caress.
A deadly... Well, I shouldn't say deadly. I mean, that's lame. Deadly
definitely
embrace, deadly
deadly.
kiss, deadly embrace, or caress. Anyway, okay. So those are my two guys that are going to bring a little bit more of the... If I can get them close enough in that 6-inch range, those guns are pretty nice.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty.
My specialists are going to be the kisses are going to be more difficult for you, I suppose, perhaps.
I mean, all of it's... I don't want any of it shooting me, and I don't want any of it punching me.
Nobody ever does.
So, I just want to stay away from you and shoot you
Right.
until you can't
Of course,
shoot me
that's the
back.
whole point of the game.
Yeah. What is your
basic-
mask form?
My mask form today is I am going to be riddle smithing.
Riddle smithing.
Smithing, yeah,
The veiled pathing.
The Veiled Path Riddlesmith.
Yes. So I'm going to take a minute and just kind of talk this one out, because I always just sort of offhandedly mention it when I've played them, and people seem to get confused. So at the start of the fight phase, you roll 2d6, and you discard the highest result. Then for your enemy's attacks that are targeting you, unmodified hit rolls of the remaining number fails. The end.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's the Harlequins. The Sisters of Battle, the kill team of the Thawed Rose. That's what I'm calling them.
The Thawed Rose.
The Thawed Rose. Yep. Because
Like
they're
the
like
flower?
yeah. So they're like a successor order.
I don't know if you meant like they go in rows.
No, like rose,
like
like
rose,
the because
like
they're a successor. They're an order minoris of the order majoris, the sacred rose. So they're from the sacred rose, but they're the thawed rose because they only come out at the first thaw of springtime. They only leave their cloister during the first thaw of springtime to bring those that they need to bring to repentance to the battle and for them to repent. It's led up by my sister superior, yet unnamed. Maybe one day she'll get a name. She's got a chainsword, a bolter, and a plasma pistol.
Maybe she should be Juliet. Goes by any other name. Smell is sweet.
There she is, Sister Juliet. There you go. So Sister Juliet, she's got a chainsword, a bolter, and a plasma pistol. She'll be leading up the kill team. Dropping down to specialists, we've got a battle sister gunner with a storm bolter. She's the sniper specialist. So she's the hot shot, so she'll be re-rolling ones. Then we've got another battle sister gunner with a flamer. She's the demolition specialist, so you need to be wary of her because she auto hits, and then she's going to be wounding you on 2s. So watch out. Then We've got a Zealot specialist.
Yeah, these guys look nasty. They're new.
Yeah, they're new.
They look
She's part of
nasty.
the new reinforcements for the team. She's an Endurant from the Arcoflagellants, and she's got some Arcoflails. You got to watch out for her because she's very dangerous in the fight phase. She's part of the Arcoflagellants being led to repentance here.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, I would not want to come up against those.
You would not want to meet them in real life. They're lobotomized and steroided up to just run and kill things.
No.
Dropping down to non-specialists, we've got 2 more Arcoflagellants, so that sort of rounds that out. Then we've got our battle sister with the simulacrum. So that's going to improve my Shield of Faith save across the board. And then we've just got a regular battle sister with a bolter there. So that's the team. They're going to be going up against the Harlequin, seeing if they can survive the fight phase. I don't have high hopes. But hopefully the mission that we're going to be playing today is going to be balancing that out. We're going to be playing from the core rule book, Recover Intelligence, which will describe when we get all set up. So that being said, we're about to go into the mission. But before we do that, please make sure to hit that like button if you like what you see and subscribe to the channel here. It's the easiest way to support us, to make sure to see our videos in your feed every week. And let us know down in the comments what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like. If you see any rules errors, make sure to mention those. First person to mention a rules error gets 10 internet points. Second person to mention an internet rules error gets 5 internet points. And nobody else gets any internet points because it's a game that we've made up for ourselves. So there you go.
I'm still waiting for my internet pizza from last week.
Yeah, well, it's not real yet, but
Oh.
one day maybe. So with that being said, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, we are all set up here for this game of Recover Intelligence. It's a progressively scored mission. You'll find 5 objectives on the field, 1 in the center, and 2 equidistant out towards the corners towards each deployment zone. How this mission works is we score points for the objectives we hold at the end of each battle round. 3 points for holding the center objective, 2 points for holding the 2 objectives closest to your enemy's deployment zone, and 1 point for the objectives closest to your deployment zone. Both kill teams here arrayed in sort of a spearhead formation. For the Sisters of Battle, we've got the Arcoflagellants and our Demolition Sister leading the charge with the rest of our sisters in sort of a long-range fire support pattern. For the Harlequins, we've got a clump of them up at front, probably looking to get some early charges off, and 2 off to the side in a flanking formation. For the scouting phase, the Harlequins picked take forward positions, so they'll be getting some pregame moves, and the Sisters of Battle picked eliminate sentries, so I'll get to shoot at them depending on how Carly moves. As far as the terrain goes, we're playing all these different rubble piles here as difficult terrain, but other than that, it's all just sort of your standard layout. So we're going to go ahead and do our take forward positions with the Harlequins, and we'll come back in just a moment. All right, so for Carly's, the Harleys of Carly's take forward positions, the combat specialist moved out here to this objective, totally out of line of sight from the rest of my team, so I won't be shooting at him. And then one of our non-specialists here moved on to objective 4, and I can see him through the terrain here with my 1 bolter sister. I am just going to measure that up and see if I can actually fire. All right, so after checking the range, I can easily make that shot. It is just going to be 1 single shot, though. Long range and obscured, so we will be hitting on a 5, which we hit. It's a strength 4 gun to a toughness 3 Harlequin, so 3s to wound. No wound. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to leave that alone. So that's scouting phase all done. Only thing we have left is, Carly, you do have a veteran on your team right here with the tassel. Now for a CP, you can do a pregame move with this veteran if you'd like. Okay, so after the veteran move, rolling that 4, getting a 12-inch move, rocketed all the way over here to objective 3. And with that, we're finally ready to do our initiative here for round 1. Who will claim initiative for round 1 in this first outing of Sisters versus Harlequins? It's a 5 for the Sisters, and a 5 for the Harlequins. So we'll re-roll. For the sisters, we get a 7, and the Harlequins get a 5. So with that, we'll go ahead and do our movement phase, and we'll be right back. We are all done with the movement phase for both teams. Savvy-eyed members among you will notice a slightly different lighting. That's because we've taken a giant break and come back to the game many hours later. So it's a little different lighting aspect. Anyway, so the sisters had initiative. So we'll just go over what we did. First of all, we took our Arco-Flagellant here, charged into the veteran specialist. We did survive that Overwatch there. And we also, you'll notice, our Sister Superior in there. She charged in as well to support. Meanwhile, our Storm Bolter Sniper Sister moved up here to also jump on the objective, but staying outside of range of the veteran specialist there. And our Simulacrum Sister moved in to support. She is still within 6 inches of our Demolitions Sister here, who did move up to control objective 1. All right. Meanwhile, this sister here moved over to control this objective, and this Arco-Flagellant advanced up this way. Carly, tell us what you did with the Harlequins.
Well, you just talked about that I charged up there, right?
Right.
And so
well,
I
yeah. You charged here. This was the one that was over this way, right?
What'd you say earlier? Harleys, Carleys?
Yeah, Carly's Harleys. Carly's Harleys here.
Harleys. So because I successfully charged with that super amazing charging movement that the Harlequins have, I then moved my leader to take care of objective 4.
Yes, and he does have a line of sight over to that that Arco-Flagellant, so we'll see how that goes.
And then I'm not going to tussle with the your combat specialist there.
Demolition.
Your demolition specialist with your auto hits. So I just kind of moved up, so maybe I can hopefully shoot her off the table. I don't know. And then these other guys are just, or this guy's just staying put here. So.
Oh yeah, and this Arco-Flagellant advanced up this way to try to threaten these objectives. So we'll see how it all pans out. That's it for movements. We're going to go ahead and drop into the shooting phase. Starting off with, there's no readied models, so we'll just go to player with initiative. And as she might not be long for this world, I am just going to go ahead and open up with this Flamer Sister here. She's a demolition specialist. I am going to use the tactic Burn the Heretic here. So that basically allows me, I'm just going to rotate her to face them so she looks a little more threatening. So I do get to.
She just sort of casually.
Yeah, she just sort of like turns. Yeah, right, exactly. It's like a Maybelline sort of like. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Burn the Heretic. Anyway, so she's gonna fire this non-specialist for the Harlequins. That's gonna be the primary target, and then I'll split off depending on how I roll. And the Burn the Heretic tactic, it's 1 CP. Basically, it lets me re-roll the result of my number of shots if I don't like it. So let's find out. Our number of shots is 4. And you know what? We're just going to keep that. We're just going to keep it. So 4 shots, and then what I'll do, I'll split them. I'll do 3 to the non-specialist and 1 to your Zealot, just because I want to try to make sure to kill this non-specialist since he has a fusion pistol. So 3 auto hits into him. Strength 4 to toughness 3. Oh, but and you're not obscured in any way, shape, or form, so no pluses.
At least not the one.
Yeah. So that is 2 wounds. So then I'll need 2 4-up hollow suit saves from you, Carly. Fails them both. Okay. And then so that does bring you to the injury roll. So on a 4-up, you're out of action. No, it's just a flesh wound to the fusion pistol. Okay. Well, and then we do have our 1 auto hit into the Zealot specialists, which is not a wound. So after that, we go over to the Harlequins to take their shooting turn. Who would you like to shoot with, Carly?
Well, let's just go ahead and knock over terrain.
Just destroy the place. Yep. All this nice hard work.
Sorry.
Just forfeit.
The the under earth is rumbling with its. Yeah. Anyway. So, so I guess I'll just I'll bring it right back at you. Right.
You're gonna send the fusion pistol.
Yeah, we're gonna send that fusion pistol.
Okay, it's
right
a single
in there.
shot. It is gonna be hitting on
well,
a 4.
I'm within range, right? So
yes, but you do have a flesh wound on you now, though, so you are going to be -1 to hit just from the flesh wound. So a 4 to hit from a single shot from the fusion pistol. I don't get 2
shots?
It's just pistol 1.
Yeah, but what do I get if I'm half range?
No long range penalty. You avoid a penalty. That's what you get.
Oh.
So hitting on a 4. Oh, it hits. Okay, wounding on a 2. Ooh. It wounds. Okay, and then now that's a -4 on the fusion pistol. That would give me no save, except that I do have my shield of face. Shield of face. Shield of faith.
Fit you will,
Yeah.
Maybelline,
oh,
right?
there you go.
Yeah,
she's got the shield of faith save, and like I previously
action.
mentioned, I am just within 6 inches of the simulacrum, so I do have a 5-up invulnerable save here. So looking for a 5? No. I might re-roll that, and I'm going to. I'm going to spend a CP, and I'm going to re-roll my save here. Looking for a 5-up? Yes! Yes, she survives. Very nice. Good job, sister. She's the durable sister. I'm just saying that right
already,
now.
Yeah. Okay.
So it goes back to the Sisters of Battle. I'm going to go ahead and do my sniper specialist next. She is going to fire everything into the Zealot specialist back here. So definitely obscured. Yeah, there's no question about obscuration there. But I am within 12. So it's going to be 4 shots hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. Let me just make sure that I am within 12 and I'm not telling tales out of school. I am. So 4 shots hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s into your Zealot. That's 2 hits. Very nice. And this is going to be 3s to wound, strength 4 to toughness 3. That's 1 wound. 1 hollow field save, or hollow suit save, I should say. A 4-up. Oh, it's a failure. And we go to injury roll, unless you do have a CP, you want to re-roll that.
Otherwise, you're likely taking me out of action.
Could take you out of action. I mean, I need a 5-up to take you out of action.
I'll save it then, maybe.
You'll save it. Okay, so a 5-up then to take you out of action.
Ah!
Well, there you go.
Well.
So the Zealot specialist is removed. Unfortunate for the Harlequins.
Yeah.
But that does bring it back around to the Harlequins. Your only target left. Actually, you have 2 more shots. You can fire with either your leader here across into the Arcoflagellant, or actually your combat specialist here can see the demolitions sister. So you could.
Can she?
Yeah, through these windows right here.
Well,
yeah. So it would be long range and obscured.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, so it would be a single shot, and you'll be hitting on a 5, because -1 for obscurement and -1 for being at long range with the pistol. That's a 2, so no, negative on that. So we drop back over to the sisters. The only thing we have left to fire is the Simulacrum sister. She'll fire her bolter into this non-specialist Harlequin right here. So that's going to be 2 shots because we're within half range. But are we obscured? No, thanks to her big banner here. So it's just going to be 2 shots hitting on 3s. That's 2 hits. And these are going to be wounding on 3s. That's 1 wound. So 1 4-up hollow suit save for your Harlequin here, please. It's a save. She's fine. Whew. Totally fine. All right, and then now your last thing then is in fact your leader here firing the Neuro disruptor into the only target he has, which is this Arcoflagellant.
Yeah, which is probably good to try to get a wound off that guy since he has 2 wounds.
Yes, indeed, it is. So you are outside of 6 inches and he is obscured, so it's going to be 1 shot hitting on a 5-up. It hits. So that's a strength 3 gun, the Neuro disruptor, to toughness 3, so you're looking for a 4 to wound here. Nice. It's a wound. Okay. Now the let me double check the Arcoflagellant's profile here. Yes, that's a 7-up save. So that's a no save anyway. So and then the Neuro disruptor is a D3 damage, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be. Who knows? But so go ahead and roll your damage. It's the big 3. That's not what we want. All right. So the Arcoflagellant does have a Berserk Killing Machine save. So if I roll 2 5-ups here out of 3, then he survives. Oh, not even close. Okay. So he's probably going to be out of action here. That's going to be an injury roll for him, rolling 3 dice, picking the highest.
There's a 6.
So he's out of action. So he's gone. So there you go. So that is it, by my reckoning, for the shooting phase. So we'll go ahead and go into the combat phase swiftly. So we start off with charging models and the player with initiative. Now charging models, we've got, so we basically have 2 combats. We've got the 1 combat right here, and then we've got 1 combat right here. So charging models, I'm out of CP, and you are sitting on 1 CP, so no interrupts are available. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start off with my Arcoflagellant here. So he's got 2 attacks, but his attack rolls, you make D3 hit rolls for each attack. So it's 2D3 attacks essentially for 2. They hit on 4s, but oh wait.
Oh, this is that.
This is this is your start of the fight phase.
Sorry.
This is your veiled shadow.
Here we go. All right. Oops, we got a 1
Okay, so
and
a 1 and a 2,
2.
so unmodified hit rolls of 1 always fail, so that's fine. So I roll a 1 and a 3, so I get to re-roll with Berserk Killing Machine into 1 hit, okay? Now he's strength is 4, but then the Arco Flails is strength plus 1, so strength 5 to toughness 3 is 3s to wound. No wound.
Ooh.
Okay, and then now you get to swing basically with this guy next.
Okay. So he's
So he's a non-specialist.
He's the one that has the is he a
He's a non-specialist.
a kisser?
No, he's a non-specialist,
he's a
so he's a caresser. Yeah, so he's going to caress gently here.
Yeah,
so
gently caress you to sleep.
It'll be 4 attacks hitting on
sleep.
3s. Oh, the big sleep.
The big
Ooh,
sleep.
Gross.
Wait, I'm sorry. It's
4 attacks hitting on
4
3s.
attacks. I should know this. I'm sorry.
That's all hits. That's not good.
Yikes.
So then it's 4 wound rolls, wounding on 3s.
Oops.
So that's
all
3
over the
wounds.
place.
Yeah,
3.
I know. Nice. I don't know. Have you guys seen
tray.
this? Nice big rolling tray here. Has excellent bounceability on the floor. Bounces those dice right back out of the tray for you. All right, so that's 3 wounds. Now, Carly, what's the AP on the caress?
It's a -4. I mean, you know, I'm gonna just go with, you know, if you're gonna leave it up to me, right? The caress.
The caress.
The caress is AP -2.
AP -2 on the caress. So a 5-up save here for my sister. 3 5-ups. Oh!
Ooh, you got
If
2.
only I had a CP remaining to re-roll that save, but I don't, unfortunately. So what's the damage on the caress?
It's a 1.
1 damage. Okay, so a single injury roll required then. Oh, it's just a flesh wound. Means she gets to strike back. We like that quite a lot. All right, so then my other charging model, we go over here then. Let me see if I can get a good angle. This is kind of awkward with that wall right there. We do have our, it's almost, this is the God Emperor's view, just straight down upon these Sisters of Battle. So we do have my Sister Superior attacking into your Veteran coming up next here. That's 3 attacks. She hits on 4s. And just remember, everybody, that Veiled Path Riddlesmith's unmodified 1s fail. All right, so those 2 1s are fails, thanks to Riddlesmiths. So
Riddle me this.
5 hits. And then we're looking for a 4 to wound, strength 3 to toughness 3. That is a wound. No AP on that, so you get your 4-up hollow suit save. It is not a save. You do have a CP if you want to re-roll that.
Otherwise, I'm out of action, right?
Well, I'd have to roll the injury roll. It'd be a 4-up to take you out of action.
No, I'm gonna... I don't know. think I'm going to hang on to that.
You're going to hang on to it. You're going to let it go. Okay, so then that looking for a 4-up to take you out of action. It's a 1. It's just a flesh wound. Alrighty, so with that, that's actually all of our charging models complete. So now we go to non-charging models, starting with player.
That was a flesh wound.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Happy?
Yes.
Is everybody happy with the flesh wound dice? Are we all satisfied here? Just to make sure everyone's clear, I put this over here, but you know, here we go, flesh wound. There we go. There it is, everybody, okay? We all feel good about these things? I sure do. Dropping down to non-charging models, starting off with player with initiative, we go here to this battle sister, striking back into this Harlequin player. It's only a single attack, and it is hitting on a 4 now, or I'm sorry, a 5 now, thanks to that flesh wound. It does not hit. Okay, and with that, then the final thing to do for the fight phase is this veteran specialist right here. He's got 4 attacks. He's got 2 targets if he wants. Would he like to split up his attacks or go all into one target, or?
Yeah, let me split it 2 and 2.
2 and 2?
You know,
okay.
So I have a chance, I guess.
Gotcha. And so who do you want to swing on first?
Let's go after the flagellant.
Going after the arcoflagellant first. Okay, 2 attacks. Hitting on 4s now because of that flesh wound. No, 2 fails. Okay, and then now we got 2 attacks into the Sister Superior, hitting on 4s once again because that flesh wound. 1 does hit, so 1 fails, 1 hit. Now, we know that the kiss brings him at least to strength 4, so it's a 3 to wound. Oh, it's no wound. You do have your CP, though.
The sweet kiss is not working.
You've been sitting on the CP.
Here.
You've been holding on to it. I mean, unless you're holding on to it for a future round.
I guess I'll try.
So we'll re-roll the wound roll.
It's not like I'm going to be holding that objective, though, anyway.
It's true, you're not. I mean, he's surviving at this point regardless because I've already attacked. You're not going to hold the objective no matter what you do. So unless, I mean, this is into my leader, though. The Sister Superior is my leader, so you could potentially take her out of action.
Take your leader out of action. I guess so.
Okay, so we'll re-roll it.
Okay. Oof.
Looking for a 3.
Ah!
Oh, the dreaded 1
Let you
into
talk
the
me into
1.
it.
There you go.
That
okay.
was all my choice.
So that is officially it for the fight phase. We do swing on into the morale phase. For the Sisters of Battle, we've got 1 on a flesh wound and 1 out of action here. So that's 2 of my, I think, original 8. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 2 of my 8, so no break check required. I do have a flesh wound here, so I do need to do a nerve check. The leadership of a battle sister is 7. So she's leadership 7. She's got a +1 to the roll for the 1 out of action model. So even on a 6, I can't exceed her leadership, so she automatically passes. Going to the Harlequins, we've got 1 out of action and 1, 2 on flesh wounds. So that's 3 of your original 6, I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so not more than half. So you can't break. You don't have to test for breakage. And you do have 2 flesh wounds here. So your players are leadership 8. So 8, so a +1 there. So on a 6 can't fail, so automatically passes. And then the other one automatically passes. So
for now I'm okay.
For now you're okay. So scoring for this round, we've got Harlequins holding 1 back here because of this cheeky little combat specialist. Harlequins holding 2 there. And then we're contesting here, and we're contesting here. And then Sisters hold here. So that's 2 points for the Harlequins to 1 point for the Sisters. And we'll move right on into initiative phase for round 2. Initiative for the Sisters of Battle. That's not good. That's real not good. And the Harlequins only with a 4.
When I saw the 1 at first, I was like, oh,
I know,
man,
it would have been really cool to get a double 1.
Eyes? Yeah.
All right, so that's it then. Harlequins do have the initiative for round 2 here. We're going to take our movements and be back. Alrighty, it is the end of the movement phase here for both teams. Harlequins had initiative, so Carly, tell us what you've done.
Well, I doubled down on, well, I didn't double down, but before I didn't have hold of this objective, so I moved my leader I charged up there.
Charged over, yep.
To be able to both take out that sister and hold that 2-point objective. I went ahead and took a risky move here to move my 2 flanked Harleys into the middle, charging.
Right, so your combat specialist who was
my
over
combat
here,
specialist was over here,
charged all the way over this way,
correct.
and then this was the one that was just right here.
Yeah,
right?
and I just moved him into combat
right,
as well.
Charged in as well.
Then you, or then
yeah, well, this guy stayed in.
Still there because he was in combat
Right.
at the time, and then
it was time for the sisters. Yeah.
Then it was sisters.
So obviously, this sister is stuck in there because she got charged.
Right.
This sister is stuck because she got charged, so they didn't move. So what happened is then my sister superior and my arcoflagellant who were here fell back this way, and my endurant who had advanced previously has advanced again to grab this objective here. Then my Stormbolter sister hopped up and over the terrain, dropping right here, and my Simulacrum sister moved around and out here. So she's still providing that 5-up invuln save across the field. So the idea, the hope, obviously the Harlequins are looking to seal the deal here and seal the deal here to capture these objectives. But the hope is that if I can control here and then shoot this Harlequin off the board here, we can at least keep it a close game. We'll see. So that's it for movement phase. So we'll go into the shooting phase, and we're going to start off with models. So there's no readied models. And in the shooting phase, we go to player with initiative, which is the Harlequins. So Carly, your options are you can fire your veteran, or you can fire your fusion pistol here into this sister, whichever order you want to do it. But then I'll get to fire as well. So,
am I able to shoot anybody from across? No, the range on those.
So,
like
so your
6
options,
inches,
your
right?
options are this Harlequin.
No, I know, but
into,
this one can't see anything or have range for anything
this
other than her right
fusion
there, right?
pistol, yeah, can only fire into the combat that it's already in.
Yeah.
It can't fire out of the combat that it's
Right.
in. So its only option is this sister, the end.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then that's
well, let's start.
this guy.
Let's start with that one then, I guess.
Okay, so
All right.
you understand that if you start with this one over here, that I'll get to potentially shoot one of my models here at him before he gets to shoot.
No, let's do that first then.
Okay. So
All
you're
right,
starting off with this
I'm
guy.
gonna start with this guy. Let's try to take out Mr. Banner.
Trying to take out the banner. Now, do you want to shoot your
Banner.
Shuriken pistol, or fire your plasma grenade?
Let's go for the grenade, I guess.
Plasma grenade it is. So that's a
Is that a good
D6.
choice?
Yeah, D6 shots into
All right,
the
here we
Simulacrum
go. All right.
sister.
Come on.
So number of shots is 5.
All right, okay. All right.
So that's going to be 5 shots hitting on 4s thanks to that flesh wound there.
Oops.
All
Oh
right,
my god.
so that
they all
is
fail.
All failed.
Every single
So there we
last
go.
one of them.
That's what we're happy about for the Sisters
Yeah.
of Battle. Now,
Religious folk.
yeah. So for the Sisters, then actually, we're gonna go ahead and I'm actually just gonna fire the Simulacrum sister back into that guy, and actually she's gonna fire. She's gonna, instead of firing her bolter, she's gonna throw her crack grenade. So it's a single shot hitting on a 3. It hits. Now a crack grenade is, if I'm not mistaken, is strength 6, but let me double check because I've been wrong about things before. Crack grenade. Yeah, strength 6, AP -1, damage D3. Okay, so yeah, strength 6, so 2s to wound here. That's the wound. Okay, AP -1, which is irrelevant because you have your 4-up hollow suit save. It's a 6. Of course, not in the tray, so it doesn't count. You got to roll it in the tray. No, that's fine. So then we drop over then to the fusion pistol here, firing into this sister. So a single shot hitting on a 3. It does not hit.
See, that's why I didn't want to roll in the tray.
Well,
Just kidding.
all right. So then we go back over here to the final thing for this shooting phase is going to be this sister, the Stormbolter sister, directly into your veteran specialist. It is 4 shots. It is hitting on 3s, and it's re-rolling 1s for sniper. So just 3 hits. And 3s to wound for strength 4. That is 3 wounds. Okay, 3 4-up hollow suit saves are required to keep your veteran alive.
1.
Okay, so fails. So it's damage 1. It is an injury roll. We're looking for a 3-up because you already have a flesh wound on you. And that is it. That's out of action there for your veteran. All right. And that brings us to the end of the shooting phase. So fight phase starting up. It's all charging models first. It's just going to be a bevy of Harlequin attacks. I do have 2 CP that I could interrupt with one of my sisters, but they're only a single attack apiece, and frankly, it's not really worth it. So with that, then Carly, who would you like to swing with first? You could either swing with one of these 2 or your leader first.
Well, let's go ahead and do the combat specialist.
Fighting with the combat specialist into the demolition's sister. Okay, so that's going to be 5 attacks hitting on 3s. That's pretty good. It's 4 hits.
4 of them. Okay.
Okay, and then now it's with the kiss is strength 4, I believe, to toughness 3s, 3s to wound. So that's 2 wounds there. And Carly, what's the AP on the kiss now?
It's I think it's -1. Yeah, -1.
-1. So looking for 4-up saves here. Pass 1, I am going to, well, you have your non-specialist with the caress after this. And the kiss is just damage 1, or the kiss is damage?
The kiss is damage 1. No, I'm sorry, it's D3.
Kiss is damage D3. Yeah, so I'll spend a CP to re-roll this one then. Oh, okay, no, it goes through anyway, so I'm down 1 CP. And then, so D3 for the damage there, Carly. It's the big 3. Ouch. And then now, so now your injury roll. 3 dice, picking the highest. It's out of action, so she is gone. Banished to the Shadow Realm. And then, so you could, if you want, you could take a 3-inch consolidate with him and get into combat with her, but then I can swing at you and you can't swing at me because you've already attacked. And then the same can be said for your non-specialist, where you could pile in the 3 and get into combat, but then again, you can't swing because she was not a target of your charge. But you can put me in combat, so it's up to you.
Nah.
Okay, so just going to sit there with both?
Yep.
All right, so then we'll go over here. It is your leader next. Leader into this battle sister. 4 attacks. All players are 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. All 4 hit. All right. Now the neuro, or the, what is it? The embrace.
Yeah,
so what's
embrace.
the embrace is what? Strength?
Strength +1.
+1. So strength 4. So 3s to wound. Because it's strength 3 +1. Yeah. All right. So that is 2 wounds. Now what's the AP on the...
-3.
AP -3. Okay. So then that means I get 2 6-up saves. Let's see. No. Okay. And then what's the damage on the...
1.
1. So just a single injury roll then. Looking for a 3-up. It is. She's out of action. Okay. Ouch. So, and then same thing. Your leader can move 3 inches this way if he wants.
Nah.
No. Okay, so staying there. So that brings us to the end of the fight phase then. We do go to the morale phase for the Sisters of Battle. 3 out of action. No flesh wounds. So no break check required. No nerve check required. For the Harlequins, 2 out of action and 1 on a flesh wound. So no break check. We do need a nerve check here. So your leadership is 8. You've got a +2 from that, but then a -1 from the friendly model right next to her. So that means that even on a 6, cannot fail, meaning you auto pass your nerve check. So that is it for round 2. Scoring, the sisters do control 1 objective here, and then objective 5 over here. So for a cumulative of 3 points, bringing the sisters up to 4 points for the round. And then the Harlequins control the center objective for 3, and then this objective for 5, bringing them up to 7. So current standings, Harlequins in the lead, 7 to 4, which is pretty rough for the sisters because it's looking like the Harlequins are just going to collapse on them and take them out one by one. But we'll go into round 3 here again. So sisters initiative is a 7. Harlequin initiative is a 7, so we'll re-roll. 4 and a 7. Okay, so Harlequins do take initiative. It occurred to me, by the way, that in fact we didn't roll the Veiled Path Riddlesmiths thing again, but seeing as not even a single wound was done to the Harlequins, it doesn't matter, so you can just go ahead and delete that comment now.
You mean the sisters?
No, the Veiled Path, they're like your mask form.
Right.
We didn't roll it at the start of the fight phase. So, but that's what I'm saying. I never even rolled to hit you.
Oh,
so
right.
It doesn't even matter. So you can go ahead and delete those comments, guys, because it doesn't matter.
No internet pizza or points.
Yeah, no internet points for you on that one.
Right.
So the Harlequins have initiative once again. We'll go ahead and do our movements and come right back. All right, so it's the end of the movement phase for both teams here in round 3.
Yes.
Yeah, round 3. So it's a bit of a complicated one, so we're going to run through it really, really fast. The Harlequins would have gotten all their moves first, but I spent a CP for decisive move, which then the Harlequins spent a CP to also decisive move, and then won the roll-off. Okay, so, and with that decisive move, elected to charge the leader into the banner woman that was over here. Failed the charge, obviously. Then the banner woman used the decisive move to charge the combat specialist and non-specialist that were here and died in Overwatch thanks to the plasma grenade thrown by the combat specialist. Then in the rest of the movement phase, this combat specialist elected to stay there. This normal player stayed here. The leader had already moved. And then the non-specialist here with the flesh wound elected to charge the Stormbolter sister, the sniper, who failed her Overwatch, didn't do any damage, made it in. Then for the sisters, since the sister superior was here, went ahead and charged in because maybe I can take objective 1 back from you there. And then my Arco-Flagellant that was up here charged in this way to support my sniper specialist. And then the last thing for the sisters was that the Endurant just moved back here. I am just within 2 inches of the objective there, but holding that objective, just staying ideally as far away from the Harlequins as possible to just hold that objective. All right?
Yeah. Just for one more clarifying thing, I did use that other CP to try.
Oh yeah. So you spent another CP to re-roll that charge.
One additional CP.
Yes.
Then on
so
the count.
Oh yeah. And then I had spent a CP re-roll to try to save my banner sister on the save. Right. So with that, we would have a shooting phase, except that he charged, so he can't shoot. They just got into combat, so there's no shooting there. They got into combat, so there's no shooting there. And then this guy is out of range of everything, and the Endurant over here has no guns. So there's no shooting phase really for round 3 here. So we'll go right into the fight phase, starting off with charging models and the player with initiative, which is the Harlequins. So you can activate your, I'm just gonna move this here now because it's been in the way the whole time. So you can activate this model here, and you've got 4 attacks. How would you like them all to go into one specific model or split them up somehow?
I guess I'll put them all into the well, I only charged the one.
You can attack both though because he charged you.
Him?
Yeah, you can attack models that you charged or were charged by.
All right, which one of them is more scary?
In combat, the Arco-Flagellant. That's that's what I said. So anything wearing a sister's cloak is shooting focused. Anything Arco-Flagellant is melee focused.
Okay, I'm gonna go 3 into the Arco-Flagellant and 1 into the sister.
Okay, so 3 into the Arco-Flagellant, 1 in the sister. So these are hitting on 4s.
Nada.
Thank you, Flesh Wound. And then the 1 into the Battle Sister. Nothing. Okay. We're pleased with that. Pleased as punch even.
I'm glad I made that big decision.
Yes, yes. So then we'll go over to, now that everything's safe here, we'll go to our Sister Superior here. She's got 3 attacks going into your combat specialist. Hitting on 4s. All hit. Ooh. Okay. We like that. Wounding on 4s. Only 1 wound, but that's okay because it's a 4-up hollow suit save needed. Makes it. Ouch. Well, that Sister Superior is probably dead. So then we'll go ahead and we'll do the Arcoflagellant next. It's 2 attacks, 2d3. That's 3, 4 attacks. So 5 attacks even. Hitting on 4s, but before we decide what, if any of these hit, and then roll a second one. So a 4 and a 3, so unmodified hit rolls of 3 are going to be failing. That was the veiled path there. So 3s are fails. So we got 1 hit so far. Berserk Killing Machine, or sorry, Zealot rule from the Arcoflagellants lets me re-roll those. So it's 2 hits. 3s to wound. 1 wound there. 4-up hollow suit save required. Fails. You do have a CP if you want to re-roll it.
Yeah.
Fails anyway. Injury roll.
This little tray is jumpy
All right.
today.
So then we drop down to non-charging models, starting with the player with initiative, so it goes over here to your combat specialist. So that's 5 attacks hitting on 3s. Ew.
3.
Wounding on 3s. 3.
Wounding.
What's the AP on a kiss again?
-2, 1. -1.
-1. Ouch. 2 fails anyway. Damage?
Is D3.
D3, so roll a single D3. It's 3. Roll 3 dice for an injury roll. It's going to be an out of action. Yep, there we go. Sister Superior. Dead on arrival. And then we go over here. We do have our Battle Sister here with 1 attack hitting on a 4. Hits, wounds on a 4, does not wound. And with that, it's the end of the fight phase. Morale phase, Sisters have 5 out of action. So we do have to take a break check. Our highest leadership on the board is 7 now. So we don't break, thankfully, because we roll a 7. And we have no flesh wounds, so no nerve check required. The Harlequins have 2 out of action with a 3rd on a flesh wound, so no break check required. Now, interestingly enough, nope, still can't fail, because even with the +2 there, still can't fail the nerve check, so nothing required there. Scoring, 2, 5 more points for the Harlequins, and 3 more points for the Sisters. So it brings it 6 to 12 at this point. And honestly, looking at what I have left with these models here and this model back over here, I'm just going to go ahead and concede because I won't be able to catch up on scoring. So a Harlequin victory. Let's talk about it. So there you have it, a Harlequin's victory.
Indeed.
There it is, yeah. So what do you think about Harlequins?
Feisty little ladies.
First time swinging with the with Kill Team Fat Tuesday.
Yep. I can understand why they're popular. I think, you said they're popular. Yeah, thematically they're super fun. And I mean, that is a great feeling to just charge right down the board, like that, and ignoring all the terrain and the buildings and other models. Yep. And you're just like, I'm going to go where I want.
Right, yeah. You're just like, I don't really care about the rules or anything. I'm just going to do things.
Yeah, and then multiple shots and... a couple of those weapons are not bad, so yeah. Yeah. So Sisters, I
feel like I played the Arcoflagellants and the Endurant poorly, honestly, because you were charging my shooting Sisters and not my melee focused guys. So it was a little disappointing to see the one guy just get popped right off the top there. Just to be like, nah, you're just dead.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that D3 damage and getting the 3 damage and everything just going through the right way. And that kind of let me take control over that extra side of the board.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like with this matchup, I mean, like Harlequins, like we were just saying, they're just so fast.
Yeah.
And it's just not enough. It's not enough. It's too much pressure, right, for the sisters to be able to handle. Unless I literally just backline the entire board and just like spend the entire game running away from you, but then you win the game on points, you know? So it's like I have to try to contest something with you, and then it's just, you just get melted by the superior Eldari weaponry, you know?
Yeah. I mean, in theory, having a higher model count in this type of mission should give you a little bit of a helper.
Yeah, but it's not that much higher. It was only 2 extra models, which, like I said, you know, I really played them poorly because, you know, why... I don't know what I was doing, putting these ladies out in front when these ones should have been in front to soak up, you know. But it's hard because, like, this model is 9 points and then this model is like 14, so it's like it's a more expensive model, but it is not going to do anything unless it touches combat, and if so you have to use it to like, you know, whereas this model can like sit back on an objective and still provide like fire support and stuff like that. So it's a tough tightrope to walk.
Yeah, you'd have to be the one to have the range to be able to charge in, and when I get initiative and I already have the long range to do that, you know. Yeah, well, and that's the problem is it's like, the effective range of the guns is more than comfortable in your charge range. And that's the problem, you know. Well, you know, I mean, that's what makes the whole thing so dynamic with the different armies against, you know, different armies and different, I mean, that's the whole complexity of the whole thing though, right? Like, I mean,
because against a different army, this type of list would, you know, like this type of list would mulch something like orcs, like a typical orc list. This would just walk right through. It would just be like, I literally don't care about anything you're trying to do. I'll just remove you.
Right. Well, even also, in addition to what the build of the list is, but just that then, you know, as the player, you're adjusting how you're playing it, dependent upon who you're against. And more in that case, I think maybe that's the flexibility factor of the Harlequins with the movement, like that you just, regardless of who you're playing against, so you have that advantage of moving and charging in. So, I don't know. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. They're fun, and you did a great paint job on them. So.
Well, thank you. Yeah, any other big thoughts about the mission, terrain, the teams, anything like that?
I did like that mission more than the ones that like require, the one that we did a couple weeks ago that required us to hold the middle one just to score anything. You know, I don't know. I liked the idea of being able to play more with the whole board and have that idea of like, okay, well, I can either stay closer to home and not, you know, risk as much but only get 1 point, or do I want to go for the 2, or do I want to like get into the middle of the action? Like, I think that's like a more fun mental perspective for the game than a couple of the, you know, the other one we played with the you know, down the hatch or whatever.
The purging.
That one was really good too. I think I preferred that to either just a shoot to kill or a, you know, all the extra requirements or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, Carly, thank you for playing. You know, thank you for piloting the Harlequins to, you know, another win for the channel.
We should swap next time and see if...
I don't know. I don't think I could handle getting beat on both sides of the coin. So, all right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up and let us know down in the comments. Delete your comments about the Veiled Path. They don't count because we caught them. So no internet points for that.
That was a tough one, though, to keep
Well,
track of.
it's hard because it's at the start of the fight phase is not normally something it's not normally a timing that many things have. Not many things have the timing at the start of the fight phase.
Well, it's already
so it's
sort
awkward.
of a confusing rule as it is.
Yes,
but,
yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, so let us know what you like down in the comments. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel. And if you are interested in other ways to support the channel, just check the description below. We've got all that sort of stuff down there. And we'll see you next time. Bye.